This episode is brought to you by our best friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. College football is back, and it's time to enjoy the tradition, the fun, and the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. To celebrate the best time of the year right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets instantly, win or lose. If that's not enough, you can also place a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. Just combine multiple bets into one, like which team will get the win, which team to score first, and more. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DAN. Bet just $5 on college football and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's code DAN, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for terms and resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in Tennessee. Call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. One per new customer. Minimum $5 deposit and wager. $200 issued as 8 $25 free bets.
Underdogs, huh?
Suckers.
The phony held firm.
I mean, what do you expect?
Jeez. Those are supposed to be the professionals.
You thought.
It's not embarrassing for us when we lose, but I feel bad for the Underdogs podcast.
They have all these stats. Oh, this guy doesn't pitch until this and then
Yeah.
You know what I do? I come in, I say, hey, these guys.
And then we take the other ones.
And you take the other ones, so we win money. What's the point?
Yeah. It's usually foolproof. Hey, happy Thursday, David.
Hey, what's shaking?
How's it going?
Good, Chris. I have a tender offer I'd like to make to you.
Chicken tenders?
I love a good toffer.
This is, I'd like to trade you the Nothing Personal shirt I'm wearing for the Roy F. and Kent shirt you're wearing.
It's a good shirt.
Because I've never seen one of those, and you can't get one of these because I'm clearly not on your merch sort of
There's
website.
a size thing, though. I mean, you have to give me a different one. I'm an XL.
Oh.
Like, I thought you were prepared to switch right now, is what I thought you were saying. So
Can I
so I
pay
actually
money to
thought
see
about
that
it.
trade?
I showered this morning.
No, I actually was wondering whether or not you had a T-shirt or undershirt on under
No.
it because I wanted to wear it on the plane back to New York today.
He's raw nipping it.
Yeah. I
can't wear your shirt
like
without
in
washing it.
8th grade, maybe 9th grade, I went through a tee, like an under tee.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it. Well,
Don't call it that.
A phase?
yeah, no. I'm trying to avoid
tank top?
a tank
Yeah, we're
top.
not using
There
that
it
word
is.
anymore.
I believe the
That was
technical...
smooth, right? I was
You can go A shirt, you can go tank top.
Yeah, I believe the technical term is A shirt.
Yeah.
So I have other shirts in my suitcase, which I have here in the studio. So I already realized that I wouldn't put your shirt on now, but it didn't occur to me it was because of size. It was all because I assume it's dirty.
Yeah, a clean freak like you. And I'm sorry for calling you a freak. I shouldn't be saying that.
A clean weirdo like you.
Yeah.
I'm simply just clean, but I do have a trade in mind because I also do have an extra large, but just not in my inventory at home, but not on my body because I am a medium.
I just like you saying I got a trade in mind. I feel like I'm doing a baseball deal all of a sudden.
What would I have to throw something in for the Roy F. and Kent shirt, or do you think it's a
few
straight
minor
up
leaguers,
deal?
maybe?
I feel like you'd have to throw in the DraftKings hat because I think you're getting the better end of this trade because you can't get these anywhere on the Google.
Well, I got one right here for you. Here you go.
Yeah.
I don't like this attention on me. When people are talking, he's talking about my shirt. I just
Yeah,
feel like
we're
people
all
are
looking
looking
at
at
your
me.
body.
Mike did this the other day with me. He liked my pants. I'm not standing up. No.
I don't want your
did like your
pants.
pants.
So what's your
He
pants?
did.
Yeah. All right,
I'm not wearing long pants today. I don't want to do this
Naked
again.
pants?
I don't know why I said this out loud. Now I'm like, when I say I feel awkward, it's gonna make you guys make me feel more awkward.
You know,
so.
we've tried this before, but just show me your belly button.
Yeah.
No,
One of these days.
I'd rather show you my penis.
One of these days.
First of all,
Seen
the
that.
trade's off. There's way too much glass in between where I am and where you are, but at the same time, not enough.
So, how is your experience actually being here in the studio? Dane and Stu are out. You're our substitute teacher.
Lonely.
For these last 2 days, and Amin just kind of comes and goes as he wants, right? Is Amin here?
He'll be along.
Yeah, he was at like a dirty
So
rabbit.
this is reminding me of middle school a little bit because the way it's set up, you guys are all there and there's a glass partition and you have the control over what I hear and what I don't hear. So before the show started, you were all being jovial, and it was like you were in the cool table in school, and I was just sitting here alone, just pretending that I was rocking out to the music, and I had no one to
saw
talk
you.
to.
I was like, wow, he's feeling this music today.
Yeah.
He was just feeling awkward.
No, not awkward. I was just feeling left out, which just brought me back to what it was like when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, this is the cool kids table over here on this side of the glass.
First time I've ever been at a cool table.
Yeah, well, you do way down the median. I cannot lie. But thankfully, we got Tony and Jess here to overcompensate.
Whoa,
Wow,
what
thank
is this?
you.
Roy and I just get,
Guys, we're the old guys. You have to. I didn't include myself in there either.
Did you guys sit at in high school? Who here was at the cool table in high school?
I mean, you were definitely.
I don't think I was actually.
You told-
I
was
thought
at the,
I was.
I was on
to
the
hit off Matt Latos.
I was at the baseball table.
You didn't know that?
No.
You got it. Yeah.
I don't know about your high school.
Who did?
Baseball team in my
There's
high school.
definitely a baseball table at my high school.
Baseball tables don't necessarily have the best reputations. They're
Never.
kind of like
They're
right.
gross.
Yeah, that's like
Is your definition of cool like the opportunity that you get all the girls?
there's a the popular group.
So
there's always a popular group in high school. I was like on the outskirts of that group.
but
I was
you can be
friends with
popular in the goth group, can't you?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
maybe
it is
nowadays.
Well,
maybe
that's different.
nowadays.
Yeah. No, I
You
take that
definitely
back.
can, but it's different.
It's because right.
You're
this
not
is
as
bringing-
hated. The
it-
popular group everyone hates, right? That
Sure.
defines.
Oh,
it's
I
like
think the
group,
goth
It's like
group-
Regina George and Mean Girls. Like they're popular, but everyone hates them.
But they
They
can't.
hate-
But
they-
they can't express it outwardly.
They want to
right?
be them though.
Yeah. It's like,
While hating them, they want to be them.
Like the goth group, no one aspires to be like to sit at the goth table. People hate the popular table, but then like if they get that invite, they get the call up to the majors. It's like, yes, later losers. Ha ha! I'm with the popular kids now.
and then they rue the day
Well, then because you are the lowest.
because it's fake.
oh, of course.
It's also right when you get into a tribe like on Survivor, like you get invited to the one to the that has the votes, but then you're on the bottom of that tribe. You're
Yep.
going to get voted out anyway.
You are the lowest in that ecosystem.
So when you get to a smaller table, like at school, and you're the last one to the popular table, like everyone sits down like musical chairs, and then what do? Do you put your head between your ass and walk back to the table where you came from?
Where you just
you
told
have
them,
to go to the goth
so
table.
long, losers. Never gonna see you guys again. It's like when Quagmire thought he was getting the spinoff.
These were the biggest issues we had, right? If you think about it, when you're in high school, where you're going to sit at lunch was something that you'd start thinking about in third period.
What you're going to eat for lunch was what I started thinking about in the third period. You guys ever get to lunch in high school and you're just like eating everything? I used to be so hungry every day by like 12 o'clock.
How was your school lunch?
Well, I used to make myself lunch and it was an Uncrustable and carrots and like
I just got.
How could you be hungry after all of
Did
that?
you at least have ranch for the carrots? I mean, geez.
But you knew what you
Peanut
were going to
butter.
eat, so you weren't thinking about what you were. You knew what you were
well,
going to eat.
I
You were-
always bought something because I was still hungry after.
got it. So you were thinking about what was your budget to buy? Like
Probably like, I don't know, $5.
Ooh, that's
couple bucks.
that's
I don't
$25
know.
a week
Well, okay,
in
yeah,
extra food.
that's not that much money. I went to high school in the 2010s, so inflation, if you adjust, it's a little bit different than when you were in high school.
Well, I would like to start something. I'd like to forgive your lunch debt.
Oh,
I think that's what I'd
what a
like to do.
mensch.
All of this.
So topical. I mean,
from
were
the
you? I mean, were
headlines.
you at the cool kids table?
I was at the asshole kid table. Like I was a table
Oh,
where
I know exactly what
For the
table
baseball
you're talking
team.
about. No, the baseball
very
team-
similar.
The baseball team was a little bit different, Chris. They were a little bit like grimier, dirtier. Like they were the chewing tobacco table, right?
Just for those listening nationally, the Miami baseball table's a lot different from the rest of the baseball table.
what's the Miami baseball
The
table
Miami
like?
baseball table is the coolest table in
No.
the school.
I mean, no, they think they're the
It's
coolest
the
table.
steroid
but-
table.
Yeah, well, at my school,
by the way.
my school was very good at baseball, so you can imagine.
How good they were at needles.
Yep. There was one kid that straight up, I swear to God, he was 43.
No, it's not even the age
He went to
thing.
Tennessee. He was 43 years old.
Miami's famous for that. When we would draft players out of Miami, including Miami Hurricanes players, we would just be aware that the odds are they were doing PEDs.
Yep. That was a culture back then. I mean, look at who they idolized in the majors.
Yep.
It was not even really that. It was kind of spoken about as common knowledge, yet everyone had all this baggage in the press, like just assuming people were on steroids. Meanwhile, the kids idolizing them were like, yeah, look at Jeff Bagwell's thighs.
Do people hate Ryan Braun in Miami?
I don't think so.
Do they love him?
Or
do they not even
I don't think we
about
think
him?
about him at all. In fact,
does
like
it-
there's many people that don't even associate Ryan Braun with the University of Miami.
Is Ryan Braun hated anywhere other than Milwaukee?
I think
I'm not sure he's
nationally-
hated in Milwaukee.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, if you talk to Milwaukee people, they have time has healed that wound.
Really? Because that wasn't just he did it. He was walking around like Lance Armstrong style, like
Even worse, he blamed like delivery people.
Yeah.
Like you switched out my urine. It was so preposterous, right?
He did lose a friend in Aaron Rodgers. Welcome to the club.
Right. Although there's not a lot of love between anybody and Aaron Rodgers.
No, but they were business partners.
God still loves him.
They went in like halvesies on a restaurant deal, and after the public scandal that Ryan Braun embroiled himself in, Aaron parted ways.
Aaron Rodgers said, "I couldn't be in business with someone who would lie about something so blatantly and so needlessly."
So silly.
Why would you lie? I don't like that.
I think it was
I'm a man of
Shailene didn't like
integrity.
Ryan.
No, this was well before that.
They-
This was
Yoko.
actually when Aaron Rodgers was understated and
Will come on the show.
was the hipster pick.
Oh, does he not come on because he goes on McAfee?
We don't know yet.
By the way,
did
that's a
come on.
thing. So I'll give you a McAfee story. I've been on McAfee several times, and then when I started being on here much more often.
You were PMSing?
Oh, we should say Aaron Rodgers joining us next week.
Oh,
Yeah.
then forget the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to cut you off at the pass in case you were going to say something too harmful too.
Well, no, he's talking about his experience
I'm
on
talking about me.
McAfee.
Yeah, go for it.
No, it's a past.
All right.
Show killer.
Where'd you come from Wynwood last night?
What's up?
You
Pardon?
Did you go out last
I
night?
was not at Wynwood last night.
Is that why you're late?
Oh, I'm late because I had to pack my box of,
Whistles?
No. I left all that in the hotel room.
Bells?
My shower stuff because I'm here so often. I don't like wasting the travel size stuff, so I have a box of just like shampoo, lotion, everything I need that I use on a daily basis. I have a box that I leave here at the studio basically, and I just whenever I'm here, I come and I grab it. So the day I'm leaving, I've got to pack that box and bring it over here, and it just.
But why can't you account for that and start the process of leaving 2 minutes earlier?
So, I mean,
a great question, David.
That's a fair assessment. I'm not shirking from the idea I was late. I was late. I take blame. Yeah.
Just a long story of nonsense.
But you
You're
were
just
somewhere
late.
last night because I sent you a voice memo and you said you couldn't hear it.
That's because I was so deep in my slumber. I said I'll listen to it in the morning.
You got to
God,
smile about it.
There's so much line here. You're asking me how my experience is at the studio. It's like when you're on Zoom and I can call in from my home, I don't really see sort of this dynamic just of the killer dynamic, the line, the loneliness, sort of the way that we are behind glass like zoo animals. I just I
Your
don't like it.
loneliness. Really, it's honestly mostly an age gap in terms of like what you were feeling, the separation, and just a byproduct of what our roles on the show are.
Wait, yesterday
Like,
you felt this?
No, today. He said, "How was your trip?" And I say, overall, the last 2 days, it's been a little lonely.
you can
Really?
Like,
you
I
can
don't
come
fe-
in here when we're vibing.
So I did go in before the show started, and I felt as though you were all doing your thing. You were all busy, working. So I felt like, oh my God, I got to leave. But then I feel like, well, working, by the way,
I'm
air
not,
quotes.
I'm not
to
working. I'm
working.
just searching YouTube for jams. Yeah, we're just vibing. I'm
You're
CEO
playing
of
music,
Vibes.
which I love.
Executive Vice President of Vibes.
I was trying to sing along to the songs you were playing, and I was making up lyrics, and it got me thinking about how many times I screw up lyrics, like when you're out dancing and everybody's singing along, and then all of a sudden everyone goes from the actual words to right.
Oh, well, there's songs famously like "Invisible Touch" by Phil Collins.
Physical
Physical attraction. I thought for the longest time it was like physical attraction.
I thought you just said invisible.
I was
touch.
thinking about what are the songs that are like the most famous that I've gotten wrong, like the top 5 for me songs where no one knows the lyrics.
Ooh, do we have a top 5?
I think we do.
We
'cause
got a
this
top
is a good one.
5.
And that top 5 will be presented by Miller Lite. Wow. Great taste. 96 calories available for delivery.
Shouldn't it be top 6 then? Nice little 6-pack.
Good shout. Oh, yeah. Good shout.
You should work for sales.
Thank you.
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
you start with
well,
5.
You have 5.
Yes,
5.
I'm starting with 5.
No OLIs.
No what?
OLIs.
outside looking in.
Okay, real means real. Real means real? No? Oh, damn it. I've been rehearsing that all night.
Good one, Boomer.
I wanted to get it so right.
So chuggy.
Real
White guy.
recognizes real. Yes. Damn it. totally screwed that up. Number 5. Beyond Belief by Elvis Costello. Just stay with me. You know that song, but you don't know one word for it.
Hum it.
History repeats the old conceits, the quiet.
No.
That's a
No,
musical performance.
Yeah, I heard Elvis.
Number 4.
You were feeling vulnerable before?
I've loved that song forever, and I don't know the words to it. Number 4. Every bar mitzvah wedding of all time, everyone gets it wrong. September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Do you remember
All right.
the very first time
Yeah,
of September?
We're just going to call this one a top 4.
Did you know the date in that song? I think there's a date. See, they don't have it.
It's the first night of September, right?
I thought it was the 21st of September.
Oh, maybe it was.
Is it, buddy?
It's for sure the 21st of September.
it is.
Do you remember the 21st day of September? Maybe night. 21st night
I
of
said the
September.
very first.
That's how it sings
That's
it.
4.
I'm doing my gib.
I thought you
Is it the very first?
It's the 21st night of
21st
September.
night
Okay, good. I was about to say.
Okay. 3. Crash Into Me by Dave Matthews. Try coming
Good
up
song.
with those
Get the
words.
sounder.
You
a good song.
got your ball, you
That's a good
got your
What? Why is that white guys?
Dave Matthews Band sucks.
Here.
Okay, we're
Here,
talking
here.
about lyrics.
He's got a couple of good songs.
Got some good songs.
Garbage.
Wow.
Is that the Eye of the Tiger?
No, it's Ian's more.
Number 2. What you played to start the show today before we started taping. What a Fool Believes. I couldn't come up with one word. I've heard long ago. That's the only word I know. And then the number 1 is Beyond. There is no one who can argue with this number 1 because we all get it wrong. It is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
That's not true. I know every single word. What part do people get wrong?
Yeah, we know that word, like top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
It's
Every
just,
word.
you know, it's that
Google it.
What- Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. There's the word. Galileo.
I see boy, nobody loves me.
Spending his life with his monstrosities.
Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go?
This is a bit where nobody knows.
No, we will not let you go. It's me, Lord. No, we will not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Let me go. We'll not let you go. Mamma mia, mamma mia,
Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub.
Now
give me these words. Victory. They don't have it.
Now they're just yelling.
They're just yelling.
Can't you listen to me, baby? I just gotta get out. Just gotta get right I would say we know that song.
My favorite part, this fraud, Jessica Smetana.
I did get the words wrong.
Yeah, right at the top.
Yeah,
Right at the top.
You're looking
Damn
at the
near
lyrics on your
derailed the
screen.
train.
You're damn near karaoke. I was like, what is she doing?
You're damn near bright line this whole thing.
I skipped
everybody.
ahead. I skipped ahead a verse.
There's
Someone's
a
got to
little
be
Stugotz
Stugotz.
she's
looking at.
Stugotz isn't here.
Do you see what she's looking at? You see her screen? Are you sharing screens?
I can't see her screen, but what I can see is context clues. If someone's singing a song
And going
and
like
going
that.
like this and looking
looking.
back and forth.
Do you know how many people in concerts do that? Like Bruce Springsteen has a prompter. He doesn't know the words to any of his own songs.
You know what the opposite of that is? In 1996, Prince had a concert that was happening at the same time as the NBA Finals were happening. And so he's a huge basketball fan. He has 2 TVs wheeled out to just off stage left and stage right. put the game on. And so he's doing his concert, and then he'll do to the left side of the stadium, and he's literally just watching the game, playing his guitar, singing, hitting every note.
That's amazing.
To the right
I love
side.
that.
Like that's the highest level of musical genius, right? It's like, I don't even need to pay attention to you.
Do you think
people.
it's the responsibility of the host of a party when you're hosting a party or a wedding or something on a night of a World Series or NBA Finals game or the Super Bowl to bring in a TV so
Yes.
that people at the party can watch?
It depends, man. It depends. Look,
Can't have a wedding during football season.
No.
That's a no-go.
or just don't have it on Sunday. I mean,
Don't
have a wedding.
yeah, okay.
Listen, there's a lot of solutions, but I think you're missing the point. I'd like you to answer the question. Do you think it's necessary? Is it the responsibility of the party maker?
It depends. If the party maker has a specific feeling about this, like I don't want people huddled around the TV during my event, then I get it. But also, we live in an era where the game is right here in my
So
pocket.
it's all changed, right?
Yeah.
Because in back in the older days, it was either TV or no one's watching. Now everyone's got their phones.
Yep.
So my view is I want to take away people's phones if I want people focused because I'm not going to bring in a TV.
I have a dear friend that's getting married UM-FSU Day. Sorry.
At the same time,
Sorry,
No.
I'm out.
so you're not going to
You're
go.
not going to the
You're
wedding?
not going to go to the wedding.
Not going to the wedding.
Because you assume there'll be a second wedding.
You know the deal. You know the deal with me. No,
Wait, hold
no,
on,
not
wait.
that.
It took a turn.
No, but why would you choose a game over?
Because it's Florida State week.
Yes, yeah.
So
FSU
it's not a
week,
good
man.
friend.
Don't do that.
It's obviously not a good friend then,
No,
right?
I mean,
he's not a
no,
good friend.
Mike is not a good friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No. The other guy's not a good
whoa,
friend.
You said it's a
Mike,
dear
he knows the
friend.
schedule.
Your
Dear
word
friend.
was
Yeah.
dear friend.
Dear friend.
And you're
They give
choosing
a very
a
nice
foot-
gift.
Would you be in the wedding party?
No.
Okay.
If you were in the wedding party, would you go?
I'd be bummed about that, but I'd politely decline.
You declined to be in the wedding party?
Hey! No, I'm not doing a thing. It's FSU week.
Damn right.
I mean,
Come on,
I've
man.
dedicated my life to bringing the
Is
U
the
back,
guy
guys.
from
Yeah.
Florida?
It's a lady.
Sorry,
It's
is
welcome
the
to
woman from
2022. Yes, she is.
Women get married now?
Yep, they allow them to. Can you
Jeez.
believe it?
Was she aware that it was Miami-FSU week?
No, she scheduled her wedding for her fall wedding, and then college, which is a dangerous game. Don't do that. Saturday during the fall, always in jeopardy. And sure as shit, Miami-FSU scheduled for the same day. So,
What time is the game?
well, they haven't announced it yet. So
Will
there's
that
a chance
impact
it-
whether you'll go to the wedding?
Yeah, if it's a noon start, I'll go to the
You,
reception.
you rush in. Wait.
What kind of wedding starts at noon?
No, if there's
Game's
a
a
noon
noon
kickoff.
start.
No, the
If it's
game.
at 3:30, maybe the
What if,
reception.
what if Florida State is like 0-7 or whatever at that point?
Entirely possible.
So then you'll still
It's still Florida State week.
Yeah, it's FSU.
Are you going to write a bigger check if you don't go to the wedding? Because you're supposed to write a bigger check if you do go because they're spending money on your plate.
Look, I'm writing. No check is bigger than the one that I'm writing to the University of Miami to be a Golden Cane. So that is number one priority, and it's FSU week.
I'm talking about the wedding gift.
If it were Southern Miss, the wedding gift's going to be very nice, and yes, it'll be even nicer.
But do you pay more when you're not going
Yes.
or when you are going?
Yeah, when I'm not going.
You're supposed to pay more when you're going.
No.
Yes, that's the
no,
rule.
because you got me there.
Yes.
Why would
I've never ever heard that
You
before.
wait.
Yes,
You pay more when you go?
You make a bigger gift to people when you go to an event, when you go to a wedding, because they're paying. It's supposed to help defray the cost of the per plate catering and for all the expenses for you.
But if I'm going to the wedding, I'm gonna give a gift that's more than the plate cost. But if I don't go, I'm just gonna give extra because I feel bad.
Yeah.
Right, it's
feel like-
cheaper, right? So your part, people like when you say no because it gets them down. It gets them down a number. It becomes a cheaper wedding.
I don't like it when anyone says no.
I gotta. Whoa.
People are allowed to say no, Mike.
Weddings.
Oh, good, thank you.
How do we feel about Friday football season weddings?
That's fine.
No. Friday?
Yeah,
I gotta rush home from work.
How about
for
you
this?
guys get over it and go to a wedding any time of the year?
Shut up,
I mean,
Chris.
who
Shut up,
cares?
Chris.
So
My
incredible.
wedding was January 14th. I think it was like the conference
go to the
championship
courthouse
game.
to get
You wanna
married.
know
How
what
about
my
that?
anniversary is? July 23rd. That was designed because there's no sports going
Was
on
that
in
the day
July.
after the All-Star game or
Happy
something?
belated.
Like
I wanna
the-
watch
when there's
baseball.
only
These days?
WNBA.
Mike got married at the ESPYs.
Like the doldrums of the sports calendar.
The hottest day of the year.
I mean,
Yeah.
not everyone can get married in July, which I agree is the best month for weddings because there's nothing else
It's
to
the
do.
cheapest
go.
time in Miami to get married.
Man,
Wait.
it's hot as hell.
Because it's
Well, because it's off season.
Yep.
disgusting outside.
Yeah, my daughter said I'm going to get married in Miami, and I want to do it Martin Luther King Day.
Wow.
Wow. Two
First of all,
Americans.
she's got a book like years in advance before she even
Oh,
knows.
it's already happened 6 months ago.
Okay.
I understand.
So it all happened.
I understand
And it was
that-
a disaster.
I'm
No, it
viewing
was a great
this-
wedding, but it was like at the prime.
I'm viewing this through a sports prism, but a lot of the people that you're going to invite are big sports fans, and I think it's respectful to look out for the sports calendar and make sure that there isn't a tough conflict that'll hurt somebody.
But if she and her fiance do not care about sports, and by the way, the bubble that we live in is so significant. There are many people who don't care about
no,
sports.
they do care about sports, and trust me, I'm not the only person that was like, "Hey, that's Miami-FSU week." That's
The groom said it too.
no,
That's
but,
the FSU week.
everyone recognized that. Ooh, that's a tough
Are
conflict.
you worried about the impact on her friendship with the bride?
Slightly, but you
So
know.
she'll remember, assuming the marriage sticks. Now, if it doesn't
I'm
stick,
actually having
then
dinner
you're
with
fine.
them on Friday. Just
Is a makeup dinner?
Wait to ease them into
Right?
this
Can you imagine? This
delivering
no,
insanity?
they already know I'm out. As soon as that game got scheduled, they knew that I was out. They didn't even have to ask.
There's no way they
It's
assumed
FSU
that.
week, guys.
What aren't you understanding
what
about
aren't you
this?
understanding?
What other
It's
things-
Miami's biggest rivalry game of the season.
It's a
And
dear
it's-
friend's
I thought
wedding.
Florida was-
My best friend got
No,
married
no,
the
no,
night
not
of
Florida.
the
Rivalry
Notre
that's
Dame
scheduled this season.
Southern Cal game, like 3 years after we graduated, when it was still like people wanted to go back to campus because we had just graduated like a couple years earlier, and it caused some conversation. Everyone went, but there were people at the wedding saying, "Man, why didn't they just do this the following week? There was a bye week."
What other things in life affect weddings like this? Like if a big Marvel movie's coming out on a Friday, are you not going to go to a wedding?
No, it's just sports.
COVID.
Sports. Just football, really.
There's a huge congressional vote. I need to be watching C-SPAN. I just think that it's hard to call someone a dear friend when you make a decision. If you have a family thing, if you have a cousin's bar mitzvah versus a good friend's wedding, I get it. I couldn't go to Dan's wedding because I had a family bar mitzvah that day. You got to make a choice.
The wedding was at
Doesn't
night.
wedding trump bar mitzvah?
The wedding was at night too.
But family.
Dan's not family.
Everything. FOE. You know
Listen,
that,
when
Jeff.
you're on the dinghy, family trumps the dinghy.
If Dan were like a fourth cousin, which one would you pick?
This was my first cousin's son whose parents had died. So it's like a thing.
Sorry,
We go
Jess.
to all their
Some
events.
variables there, huh?
Sorry, Jeff.
There's always variables. Listen, I was sorry to miss Dan's wedding, no doubt about it, because I knew that would be my only shot. With many people, my view is I'm going to get another shot. But for Dan, because of how much I knew Valerie, I knew this was my one shot.
Mike, what if you didn't anticipate the Panthers making it far in the playoffs? You commit to a wedding, you RSVP, I'm going, and then you realize it ends up on game 1 of the conference finals.
Mea culpa. I'll watch it on my iPhone.
Hold on. I think we're asking the wrong question. Mike.
Guys, it's
wait,
a
wait.
No, I'm going to the game.
Mike,
dude.
Mike.
I got a credential. I'm going to the game.
Mike.
You're skipping a wedding that you RSVP'd for?
I'm not
Yeah.
a member of the Florida Panther Golden Society. I'm a Golden Cane.
Mike. What level relationship would it take for you to say, I can't miss this?
His wife's friend.
Wait.
Like, so it's FSU Miami.
Yeah.
But like this, obviously, this
What if it's
relationship is a
me?
friend.
What if Jessica's
like,
getting married? I was just going to say that.
If it's Jess, I'm sorry.
I would get married on a Miami game day just to spite you, though.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
Just to make sure he didn't come, you mean?
Well, just if we can suspend disbelief because you're not scheduling during Notre Dame
No,
season.
never.
So,
Unless it's a bye weekend.
But if you were just to do that vengefully against me, I would not be going.
Mike,
to.
you're just cold-hearted, right? And
Vengefully
you're doing
against
this
all
because
Miami
you're a
fans.
booster, because you break news, and because you think you're important with Miami. But the fact of the matter is that
Well,
long
but-
after
well, number one, I
your
am
relationship
important.
with Miami
I am
is
important to
over.
Miami.
No, you're not,
Very
actually.
hugely.
Not at all.
Oh my God!
Like
I'm
maybe
so
in your own
important.
mind.
Whoa!
But what you're doing is making a choice that, by the way, your child is watching
you
you
are
make.
so wrong about
No,
this.
I am just disappointed in you.
Mike, what level relationship will trump FSU Miami?
Top 10 friends.
Name
Top
them.
10 friends.
Name
Name them.
Name
And with
Name my
fanfare.
top
10
Fanfare.
friends.
With fanfare.
I'm not naming you my top 10 friends.
Why not?
No.
That's a terrible list.
No,
That's a terrible idea.
You're putting me in an awful spot.
What awful spot?
You don't
I-
ask people
because
for
I'm
the
going to get
top
hit
10
up by all
friends.
these
No,
people that are going to be like, I
usually-
thought I was top 10.
You can
usually-
do it without names.
Yeah,
Your top 10
No.
friends would know better, though.
Usually I would agree, but here's the problem. Mike has just announced if you schedule a wedding on this day, I ain't going. So I think those people deserve to know
They
when
know.
Mike is not worth an
No.
invite.
No.
You have that many close
You're getting
friends?
way worked
if
up
you're-
over this.
If you're that close of a friend of mine,
you know you're in the top 10.
No, you know not to schedule your wedding during Miami football season.
I feel
You have
the
a
same,
lot of
I feel the
friends.
same way, Mike. This is a controversial topic right now because I feel like the tide of public opinion has shifted back towards since COVID. It's gotten harder to pick wedding dates and do weddings. People have had to reschedule things. It's like so expensive and blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, all right, just get married when you can. Like, you're lucky to have a wedding.
I went to a Thursday wedding last fall.
Yeah, I've heard Thursday and Fridays are more popular now because people are just trying to get.
Was it a top 10
get
friend?
a venue when they can.
It was.
And it's cheaper.
It wasn't
a
a
lot
top
cheaper.
10 friend, but the couple, I knew both the bride and the groom. So
Is that uncommon for you?
To be friends with
they-
both.
That is uncommon for
That
you?
is uncommon for me.
Interesting.
However, Golick and I were discussing this on Golick and Smitty. Get it wherever you find your podcast on the DraftKings Podcast Network. And we were talking to Holly Anderson from the Shutdown Fullcast, and she said that her mother, she grew up in a Tennessee family. Her mother decided to get married intentionally the day of Tennessee's biggest rivalry game against Alabama, just to see who would pick her.
Oh wow.
Over
That's-
Tennessee.
So that's
football.
Machiavellian, right?
no,
That's
hit
too
the
much.
evil.
Hit the music.
Yeah.
Look at me, Louie.
Trying to.
Look at me,
David, when you say you go to weddings where you know both the bride and groom, you're friends with both. What side do you sit on?
So there's that to me is very movie-like. I've never been to a wedding where there's sides. I've been to an Orthodox wedding where men sit with men and women sit with women.
Right.
But in terms of when you can co-ed seating, I've never seen a wedding with sides. I've been to movies with goys and Jews, and I've still never seen
You just
two sides.
Sit wherever you want. What about you guys? You guys sit wherever you want in a wedding, or do you sit on the side of the person that you know?
Yeah, I honor that tradition. Yeah.
How do you know which side is which?
Well,
They line up.
Yeah,
They line up
the
directly
bridesmaids
behind
are standing on this side. That means this is the.
But you're
the bride
sitting
section.
before the bridesmaids walk down the aisle.
You know
No,
the
they're always
sides.
left is the women and right
Yeah.
is the men. Always.
Yeah, bridegroom.
Yeah. Oh, have you
or
never
groom,
seen a
groom,
wedding?
or bride,
the
whatever-
bride is always on the
whatever
left as you're
fancy.
facing them. The groom is always on the right. Best man and
Amazing.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
See? Pattern recognition.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's one of my superpowers.
I'd like to not know that because now I have to forget something that I wanted to know. And now that I know this, I won't forget it. So I'm pissed off.
But you won't care though.
No, but I will. That's the problem. That's me, right? I know myself. I'm now going to focus and go back through every wedding I've been to and try to think about where people are and whether or not they have violated your rule. In England, do they do it the other way?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't go to.
But
Burger
it
King.
is kind of like a pissing contest.
It's Pulp Fiction. It's like
Kind of-
Royale with cheese?
yeah.
That's
what do they call the Whopper?
France?
I don't know. I
yeah,
didn't go
that
to
was
Burger King.
France.
I know.
Okay. I said London because London, they drive on the other side. France, they drive
It's
on
your-
our
In
side.
Amsterdam, you can get a glass
the
of
joke.
beer.
Wait a minute. Did everyone miss that?
No, we got it.
Why are you giving me
Wasn't
that?
good.
I don't
You're
deserve
gonna
that
have to
noise.
relive it and bathe in the
Not bathing in it.
bathe in your mediocre
Not
joke.
bathing in anything. I was asking a simple question, trying to learn something from this nonsense.
Send us a bit of credit.
Tiny bit.
Very tiny. It's so tiny. Hey, I got a plane to catch.
All right, see you later.
Hello, listening audience. It's Mike Ryan, and if you can believe it or not, I am presently laying out by the pool. That's right, catching some rays and drinking some ice-cold Miller Lite. It's a beer you know you're craving, the one that's light on calories but not on flavor. Why don't you reach for a Miller Lite to help supplement those summer memories? We only have a limited time left in this summer. Why not enjoy it with a 12-ounce serving that contains just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs? Enjoy a guilt-free beer all summer long. A light beer that actually tastes like beer. A beer that is brewed with a beer lover like you in mind. The next time you're getting ready to enjoy cold ones with a crew or even by yourself outside, go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find some delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Dan Le Batard.
Ron Karkovice beat Caminetti in terms of rugged hand?
I think so.
What about Derek Bell?
I don't think, we're talking Karkovice and Ken Caminetti. I don't think Derek Bell is in that conversation.
Hal Morris?
How about Mo Vaughn?
Mo Vaughn might
Vaughn's
be in
a
the
good one.
conversation.
Mo Vaughn's a good one, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have rougher hands than Hal Morris.
Did Sean Casey have rough hands?
You know what? Maybe.
Stugats.
Good take, Mike. Good, strong take on that. You know what? It's usually followed by an opinion.
The mayor. I feel like the mayor had soft hands. I do.
I do too. I
Soft,
think
very
baby
soft hands.
baby soft
Yeah.
hand, gentle caressing hands. Yeah, I believe that too.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz.
We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code DAN for a special offer when you sign up. That's code DAN only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
So, I watch a movie every day, and I got one that needs to be talked about because I'm struggling a little bit with the streaming services right now, and I want to call them out, and here's why. For the first time in my movie watching career, I am getting duped as to when movies are released. And I think I'm watching a new movie, and then I check on Just Watch or I check on IMDb, and all of a sudden there's a different year associated with the movie I'm watching than the streaming service, which says 2022. So I get confused as to what's new and what's not. Am I the only? Does this not happen to anyone?
Sometimes there's a discrepancy between when it's posted for public consumption and when the production halted. I've caught that sometimes with IMDb.
You're not, to be clear, you're not talking about you watched the wrong movie, because that happened to me. For Cinephobe, I was supposed to watch Gone in 60 Seconds, and so I, pulled up and I rent it, and I'm watching, and it's the old Universal intro, and I'm like, wow, it starts in the past, and
these guys are going for it.
committing to
Ambitious.
the bit. And I watched a strong 10 minutes, like, I don't think this is the right movie, and then I checked, it's like, oh, this is 1973 is Gone in 60 Seconds.
So not that big a difference. So I'm talking more like I watched Freedom Uncut, which is a documentary about George Michael, and it said new release. I had to spend money above and beyond the Amazon streaming amount. So it was a rent or buy situation.
Oh, no.
I then went, which I do, I'm happy to do, because it's a movie and it's like going to a theater. But then I went to IMDb, and it was like 2017. So is that a mistake on IMDb? Has anyone heard of this documentary, the Freedom Uncut documentary of George Michael?
Heard about it for the first time yesterday, and it piqued my interest.
So
but I ain't paying for it.
No, but did you look to see what year it is?
I will look right now.
Okay, so when you look, I'm going to review it. George Michael, it doesn't matter how old you are, you know that he's got one of the greatest voices of all time for any singer, certainly in the top 5. And he had a tortured life. He died at a very young age. He died in his 50s. His body fell apart. He did not die of we don't really know exactly, but some sort of congenital issue with his heart, his liver, his lungs, whatever it was.
So IMDb says 2022.
Okay, so this just came out, which is good because I just watched it. So this goes through the story of him finding love, and when he fell in love with someone who then died of AIDS like 2 months after they met. And just his tortured life. And it got me thinking, his music, they had all the supermodels on who were in the video for Freedom, which I don't know if the younger people know that video, but I would say it's one of the top 5 videos ever made behind Aha, Take On Me, and maybe Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. But Freedom 2000-something or 1990-something.
1990.
Freedom 90 with, remember Cindy Crawford? Anyone?
I do, yeah. No, it was a moment in time. If you were watching MTV back then, it was inescapable.
God, this show is old.
No, but so you don't know that song at all. Is that correct?
I don't think so.
You know, freedom. I can't deny freedom.
Oh, yeah, yes. It's in a commercial now.
Gotta give it what you get.
So have you heard of Cindy Crawford and
Yes.
Linda Evangelista and Christy Turlington married to Ed Burns?
Linda Evangelista was on the cover of Vogue, I think, recently. Vogue UK.
She's involved in quite a major lawsuit right now.
Cool sculpting.
For botched cool sculpting.
Oh, is that dangerous?
You can botch it?
She's claiming that it ruined her career and made her into someone who is overweight and ugly.
Wouldn't you go to that to like give the appearance that you've lost weight?
Well, so it didn't go right. That's
she
what
was,
the lawsuit is.
The last I read was like she was claiming that it caused fat deposits to harden on her legs and stuff.
And she couldn't go out in public. I mean, she was one of the most beautiful women in the world during this, and like Naomi Campbell.
Oh, I was considering this. Like freeze some abs on me.
Sedano did it.
Yeah, I didn't want to betray the
Not for real.
yeah, Sedano.
He didn't do that for real.
He
did
did it for real. It was a part of a promo that he did for the radio station.
He told me that
content?
he told me that I have to lose some weight in advance of it.
That's what he said.
Yeah, just cut like 10 libs and then go in there.
Don't go changing just to please me. I love you just the way you are.
No, you haven't seen my abs.
Now, I don't know if they're sponsors, so I'm screwing up things with
No,
DraftKings
not-
already, but
not
are they a
yet.
sponsor?
Not yet.
All right. Are we in the market for getting the cool
I would
sculpting
love
people?
it. I would
So you
love
can
it.
get free
Me too.
cool sculpting?
I would love to get.
I would volunteer to get cool sculpted.
Yeah.
I think that
If it plays to my vanity, I'm willing to do almost anything.
Go to Turkey.
Hey, please, someone.
I'm
pay
ready
for
to do
that.
that.
Did you
too.
see the text I sent you last night?
Yeah.
And you didn't do you not believe it's okay just to write some sort of thing to indicate that you've seen something when you get a text from someone?
That's
Just-
what the tap back button is great for, by the way.
Yes.
Give it a heart or a thumbs,
Thumbs up
Yeah.
or a ha-ha.
Explanation.
Just to show that you've seen it.
Question mark?
You
I don't have
didn't
time to-
find that at all funny. That from all of the show we did yesterday, one of the comments back on my Twitter was about the turkey hair. What was it called? The you did it. The one the
F-U-E.
thing.
What? No, I
Yeah,
want to do it. F-U-E.
Yes.
That was just one of those that I was like, set, absorbed it, moving on.
Right, but there's no way for the other person to know that you've seen it and absorbed it if
Well,
you don't
just-
respond.
Just assume.
There's there's a young lady that I used to talk to who still sends me messages and then will ask, "Did you see my message?" Because I don't interact in any way, and I gotta say, it's hilarious. I laugh so hard whenever I hear, "Did you see my message?"
Why? Because it makes you feel cool? Like what?
No,
That's
it's
not hilarious.
No, it's hilarious
very-
because I know that this person is in a state of torture just because I haven't done the
terrible
simple
take.
thing of thumbs up.
Why not
or-
just send one more text saying I will not be responding to future texts?
Whoa. Whoa, come on.
Why can't you? You do it on Twitter.
Cool
You say
down.
blocked.
No, you just ghost.
I don't block people.
Just
I don't block
Old
anybody.
people are so weird over text. They always end everything in like ... or like a weird punctuation.
I'm a ... guy.
Point and match.
Why is that? You think that's an age thing?
Yeah, I think that's
You
a
dismiss everything as
generational
age.
thing.
Any difference we have, it's because I'm old and you're not.
Well, that's
I
not
don't
the
get
only
that.
reason.
Oh God. I gotta go. 2 and done.
So what's the review?
I see.
Freedom Uncut.
Oh, the review
Like,
is
stop
that
kicking 'em out.
for people who have not, yeah, really. Take care.
Take care of these.
Hey! These what?